Okay, I'm back. And it looks like I have chat this time. I'm going to type something in chat. Hello.
Hello, world.
Take 2. Let's see if you guys can find me. And I didn't share it to the group. I'm wondering if that had something to do with it, because I took the time to share it to the group last time with the share button. And I'm wondering if that messed it up somehow. I don't know, but it could have. So I'm going to quickly just tell you what I'm doing again. And I know some of you are just coming over. And hi, Beth. Hi, Zoe. So I'm going to give you these measurements one more time for the corrected lid. You'll need one piece that's 4 by 9, 2 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 9, and 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to attach these with my strips again. I don't know what happened to the chat last time, and I couldn't do a live and not be able to see the chat. That was just crazy. I'm having glue issues again today. Scott had a hard time getting to sleep last night, so he slept in real late. So that gave me time to have his supper, his dinner for tonight's all cooked. I fried a piece of fish, and I'd baked some sweet potatoes before. Oh no, it's gluing down. So all I had to do is, and I had some other leftover vegetables, so all I had to do for his supper for tonight is fry that piece of fish up. All right, I'm putting this on the outside of the folded piece this time because this is our reinforcement piece that goes on the inside of the connection. And this is just how I made the box last night, you guys. For anybody that hasn't watched that long video, this is exactly the same way that I made that. I just wanted to have a correct lid on my box. And in the other live I started a few minutes ago, I said I'm gonna use the box I made, the lid for the box I made last night as a box for our bits and bobs swap for in our group. And this way I can have this on my desk to add things to for the next couple months, because we're not going to do the swap until March. All right, so I got one side on. I just need to do this side now. Trying not to set this in glue again. So you get a strip. These are pre-folded strips that are 1 inch wide, scored at the 1/2 inch mark, and then folded. And just be careful folding these, because I have paper cuts all over the place from these. Well, welcome, Will. Hi, Diana. Hi, River City. I'm still in my jammies. I didn't even get dressed yet today. The sun is beautiful, but I wanted to come on and redo this lid. And while Scott gets woke up and eats his breakfast. Yes, he's going to eat breakfast at 11 something. So his breakfast has been made a while. He'll have to heat that oatmeal up, I'm afraid. We have oatmeal every morning, just about, with some kind of fruit and cinnamon in it. No sugars, no, and I cook it in almond milk. All right, so again, put your strip on your side piece first, not on the lid portion of it, not on the largest piece. You put it on this first, so that when you attach this to the lid, this piece runs along the side of this, not on top of it. And I'm saying that over and over because I made that mistake when I first started making boxes, and it messes you up. So, all right. So now we've got it glued to the side piece. You add your glue along here. If I can get the glue shaken back down to this end of this. I keep thinking I'm just going to open this up and squeeze it into another container that I can screw the lid on, and then I'll just use a brush to apply it, because this having to shake it down every time is a real pain in the neck. All right. And again, work your glue so it's on the toward the edges of your piece of paper. And this is just newsprint down here, so if I get it too wet, I'll work a hole all the way to the table. All right, so line your pieces up, push them down here. Hi, Mary Ann P. This here that I'm using is to make the box is just chipboard, and I bought it from a seller on eBay. Let me see if I can find, there was a label on the paper. The eBay store is called Maiden Age, MAIDENANGE. And it looks like she has the M is capitalized and the A is capitalized, is her ID. But you do not have to buy chipboard to make these boxes. You can use cereal box if you glue two pieces together and let them dry thoroughly. So when you glue them together, I would suggest the shiny side you rough up a little bit with sandpaper so that it has some tooth to it. And then spread your glue out with a brayer so that the whole surface is covered in glue. And then I would even clamp it together in some way. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece of my strip for the inside. And this time, because it's inside, you put the glue on the outside of this. Well, welcome to my channel. I'm beginning to think I need to try to do some mornings so I can reach more people like Mary does. Hi, Adadel. Hi, Dawn. I'm reworking the lid, and I'm going to use my lid that I goofed up last night. I felt bad that it had turned out bad is why I'm... Scott said I didn't sleep very well because I was reworking a box lid all night. I should have just stayed on and fixed it, but I was getting tired and making boo-boos. So that's always a good time to go to bed, is when you start making mistakes, just walk away and come back to it. Same goes if it looks like crud to you, walk away, come back to it. You might come back and find that it really looks a lot better than your tired brain thought. Sometimes your brain just needs a break, and it's best to give it its break when it needs it. All right. But I love making these decorative boxes. You know, you see them at Joann's and Michael's, and those are kind of made real quick and not made with love. And this is made with love. And all right, I'm going to use my brayer again. If all you had is an old gift card, that would work for pushing your strips down into the glue and getting a smooth connection too, provided you had room, you know, for the card to move around inside. So there we go. We've got the two sides on. Now we've got to add our two ends. Okay, so those will be on the ends. Do not worry about where I've written these, because you won't see the measurements. Let's see, that's too short. You want your pieces to be about the same length as the piece you're attaching, so that you you'll be able to, like on these, for those that weren't here last night, when you put your paper on, you want to have some of the craft paper visible, but protecting your chipboard all around. This will give you a kind of a, what's the word I'm thinking of? A matte area behind it with that. Of course, you'll see where the different pieces connect, but from a distance, you don't see that. So I'm going to do the same on these. You put the glue on the piece that's going to be attached to the base. And you only put the glue on one side of it so that you don't get glue all over yourself. And again, here I go with the glue. I'm on the verge of switching this out for Scotch Quick Dry, just because the Scotch Quick Dry is in a smaller bottle. All right, I'm going to spread this out with my finger again so that it's to the edges. And I have a baby wipe handy to clean this up. And the measurements for my box space that I made in last night's live are in last night's live show's description box. All right. So we'll take this and line this up. Make sure your chipboard lines up, and then just kind of press down into it. And then I'll get a piece to go on the inside. That one needs to be just a little bit longer, and I have my vase of strips that I pre-made there. Let's make sure I'm not gluing it to the table. And then I kind of just see if I can eyeball it and get it close enough. Needs to be just slightly shorter because you want it to fit down in the box. There we go. Yes, this gives you extra stability with your box. Oh, that's awesome. Will, I'm glad you started your channel. I'll have to, when I get done here, I'll go subscribe. Will is with one L, guys. Just in case you missed it. Missed it? Oh, my Lord. Am I awake? Am I making up words? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's the day of made up words. It'll be all right. All right, here we go. All right, again, I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of press this down. Remember, it's a pressing down. Don't do a pull motion or you'll pull your strip loose. And I mean that in like, don't pull it back this way. Just push along and push it into the glue. Okay. So that is adhered on those, but now we need to close our ends up. So we'll just put little strips on the outside here. This makes a very sturdy box. By adding these strips, you make a very, very sturdy box. I'm just going to take and cut 4 strips this size. Made Scott some fresh coffee because I've been up a while and you know, that coffee gets a burned down taste, and I'm sure he doesn't want that when he first gets up. Plus, I had made mocha coffee for myself, and he hates flavored coffee.
Coffee is a flavor.
Coffee is a flavor, he says. Coffee is a flavor.
Callie gave me stink eye.
The strips are just cardstock. I took some 12 by 12 plain craft cardstock, and I took it to my scoreboard, and I went ahead and scored it at the 1/2 inch. So at 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, all the way up to the 11.5. And then I took it to my cutter and cut it at the 1 inch marks. So that way you're not trying to score a 1 inch piece. Does that make sense? And I try to make up a bunch of strips ahead of time so that I can just keep working on the box and just grab another strip. I put way too much glue on this time, and it's making it too slippery. Sometimes less is more. Less is more. All right. You can use any color. I noticed, Dawn, you used a kind of an aqua colored scrapbook paper, which matched your paper perfectly. So if you wanted to do that, you can choose your cardstock to match whatever pattern paper you're using. And Dawn's looks great with the kind of an aquamarine or turquoise color. It's more aqua, I think, than turquoise. But you can do that so that it's very matchy-matchy. I just like to use the craft, I don't know, either craft or black paper. Get this glue shook back down. Adele says, good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
He's eating his oatmeal.
It always makes me think of my sister Adele.
Oh, he has a sister, Adele. So when I say Adele, he thinks I'm saying Aunt Adele.
Well, I know you're not, but it sounds like it.
I know you. I know you know. So, and Adele is the one that owns this cottage that we're staying in, and she so kindly lets us live here and take care of this property for her while we get our house ready. Now, you guys, I announced this last night, but there will be no live show unless I get a wild hair on next Wednesday, because I'm going to be down at the house painting, and my focus needs to be on doing all that painting. So that is what I will be doing. I might come on live just for a little while just to do a Q&A. If you guys wanted to do that, we could do that if I'm plumb tuckered out, but it will be impromptu. It won't be at my scheduled time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do all of my, no, save those. I was going to do the other end, but I've got to attach it along the bottom first. And I think that's what this strip is for. No. All right, so we need the short pieces for the inside now. Save that one. So I'll just stick this down in here. You could probably get away with just putting the strips on the outside edges of the box, but this just gives it so much more stability. Well, hello, Lisa. Hi, Angel. Angel Rose, Vanessa. Hi, Suze. Getting a lot of folks in here today. Good morning. Well, it's still morning. It's not noon yet for another 29 minutes for me. So it's our morning. We go to bed about 1:30, 2 o'clock. But most of the time I'm trying to, wrap up and visit with Scott some when he gets home from work and settle in for the night. We've gotten 0 calls from the cardiologist, so we're taking that as good news that they didn't find anything. Because they said they'd call right away if there was something on the scans. So we're doing the no news is good news. If nothing else, this gives the cardiologist a baseline of what Scott's heart looks like and all. So if something does happen, he has base scans to compare the changes to. It's been years since I had a heart catheterization. And I think my problems I was having back then was just pure stress from managing a Joann's store and working 70 hours a week. And it burned me out.
We were both making a lot of money then.
Yeah, we were both making a lot of money back then. But you know, there's a trade-off for money. I mean, he was traveling a lot. I was making good money as a manager, and we had plenty of money, but no time for ourselves. And that, when you work that much, 70-hour weeks, and you don't take some downtime, which was an impossibility when you're in retail management, it's just impossible to take time down. If you do, you're not a very good manager.
Don't eat right.
Yeah, we weren't eating right because we were, catching food on the fly. So, yeah, things are better. We don't have as much money, but I think we're happier now. And I know. Money doesn't buy happiness. It just buys things. Happiness comes from within. Trying to get our son to understand that. His excuse of he can't do anything is because he doesn't have the money.
It's all external.
It's all external. He can't do anything because of money. And we're trying to get him to understand you can do a whole lot for free in life that's fabulously fun. Find joy in the little things and quit worrying about big, extravagant things that you can't afford to do. There's glue on this is my problem. Will agrees with us. Yeah, money's just overrated. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. What you do, buy, take care of. I was raised by my grandmother, and she always said, it's not what you own, it's how you take care of it.
That's right.
That matters.
Find joy in the little things.
Everyday life and joy in little things is what makes life worth living, not chasing a bunch of wealth. I mean, is that one of the children at the door?
The door is being massaged.
They must have, that's got to be Howie or Callie.
Callie.
It's Callie. Callie and Tippy got left in here yesterday, and Callie's been doing this thing of where she comes in and then she wants to go right back out because she wants to make sure she can get out. She said, you guys trapped us yesterday. It's warming up. I don't think we need that space heater. Do you?
Once I get moving, I think we won't need it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess because I'm up and my mouth is moving. I feel warmer. I don't know. I bet it's your mother. Well, did you find anything else? I bet it's your mother. Is it? Tell them nothing, or they can wait.
Hello.
Lisa, I agree. We've also reached a point where, if we get behind on one bill, like Allie Bank just called about the car payment, because our pay got messed up at the beginning of the month. But we got it all squared away. We just got one more pay period and we can be caught up with everybody. But You know, they call every single day. And I just have gotten to a point where I just don't care. They can wait. I want to get them caught up today. I just have to wait until the check clears. And then I'll call and make a payment or do it online. Just seems like the creditors have been more aggressive this January than they've ever been. It's like January brings out the demon in the people that borrow you, loan you money. All right. So, Callie, you just came in, you little monster. You can wait a minute. Oh my God, I'm trapped. She says, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. Oh, Callie. Hang on, guys.
Ooh, it's a cat emergency.
She's in despair. I was sitting on my leg and it's asleep. All right, you can go. You can get out. That despair. Oh, let me out. Has to be done immediately. Oh, Lisa, I forgot to ask you the other night, how's Cubby doing? I might miss some stuff, but I wanted to get this done. We were talking about going for a walk before he has to go to work, so I can't stay on too long, but I wanted to do this real quick. I need to catch up on my perpetual calendar questions with Tanya too, because I've fallen behind a few days, but I wanted to get this box made to hold the perpetual calendar so that the cats don't knock it over and have my cards everywhere, and then I got to put it all back together. And folks that were asking about the perpetual calendar, I'm doing one with Tanya, but if you wanted to, just write down your daily happenings or highlights in a perpetual calendar, you could do that instead of answering some questions. The same question on the same day each year. That's what I'm doing with Tanya. But if you wanted to just do highlights of your day each day, you could keep that for 5 years and then just reread about what happened on your day, on that day the year before, after you write down what has happened there in the new year. It's a wonderful way to keep records of things. Like you could do a perpetual calendar for your children. Like if you have just a couple kids, I don't know if I'd want to manage like 6 or 7 or 11 or 20 perpetual calendars for highlights of that many children. But I mean, I only have the one son. I chickened out after that. And I said, nope, I'm done. My brothers have a bunch of children each, but my sisters and we all have 1 or 2 children.
Yeah, we didn't have to birth them.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but my brothers didn't have to birth them, is Scott's point. I guess my brothers just got lucky and found women that wanted a lot of children too and didn't mind going through birth and all of that. But yeah, I chickened out after that. I was like, I'm done. Angel had to go. Okay. Get you a nap. All right, so I'd already cut my pieces over here for the outside bits. Oh, I'm so going to get me a container for this glue. I'm done. I'm done with the shaky shake on the glue bottle. Because if I leave it laying on its side, then it oozes out and drips down onto the floor and stuff. What a pain in the neck that is. Zoe, if I looked like my grandma the way I dress, I'd be in polyester suits. You're very much too young to remember grandma's polyester suits. But when my grandfather died, my grandmother threw out all of her dresses because he would only let her wear dresses. And so after he died, she wore, to go out and about, she wore polyester suits. And around the farm, she just wore denim jeans, and she would patch the patches on her jeans. I've got a picture of her with multicolored patches on her jeans. And she didn't own a single dress after my grandfather passed away. She's like, I am done with wearing dresses. My grandma, the rebel. My grandma had 9 children. And all my uncles always say, Grandma's rolling in her graves because you only had 1 child. And I'm like, nah. Grandma told me she understood. Probably if she'd had a choice about it, she wouldn't have had 9 children. She used to tell me that she wished she could have been born a man because they had a whole lot more freedoms. My grandma was born in 1908. So.
I'll let you roll them up.
Yeah, Scott lets me run amok. He doesn't tell me what to do. It probably wouldn't do him any good because I'm so hard-headed that just do what I want to do.
I ain't got no time to micromanage you.
Well, usually if you just let me go, it benefits you too. You know, your needs are met.
Yep.
You got food and clean clothes. You don't even have to think about it.
No.
All right, I'm trying to get these on here. This has got to go on the outside of this. All right, and I do put strips along the outer edge on the lip just so I have the same color of paper showing. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I'll be glad when I switch to the glue stick with the paper. My nose is itching. Grandma would say, company's coming or you're going to kiss a fool. And then I usually say, come here, Scott. Will I go Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time is my normal live time. I will not be going live this next Wednesday simply because I'll be down working on the house. So I won't do a Wednesday show, but I might do an impromptu like this one morning to just maybe talk about what I'm doing down there. And that'll be painting walls and ceilings and maybe working out in the yard. I don't know how I do going live outside down there. That might be too far from the router. But I could do a video on the yard. So I still have to shake down to get all of these done. So these are just going to go over the edges. Shake, 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 shake. Let's see. Back up. What is it? 4 hours for Mountain Time? GMT. What time would that be for them? 3 or 2?
3 hours.
3. 3 hours back. So 4:30? 4:30 your time then. If I'm figuring it right.
Don't count on my math.
Scott said don't count on his math. And for those that don't know, my husband works second, so that's why he's home right now. Y'all don't usually get the joy of having Scott in the background unless we're doing a live together, which that's usually a weekend thing for us.
Still a little retarded until I wake up.
Yeah. He hasn't had enough coffee to be awake yet. Yeah, my Facebook group is private, and I'm right at my maximum number, but I do, if somebody leaves the group and we have openings, I let you know. And if you friend me on Facebook, I can just add you when an opening becomes open. But keep in mind, my Facebook page is for my friends, family, and YouTube all together. So if somebody starts acting cray-cray on my Facebook page, they get removed. Just putting that out there because I want my Facebook page. It's full of enough headache with religion and politics that I don't need any further nonsense, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be a hard, you know what, and I've learned in life that sometimes it's best to just cut the headache makers away. Life's too short to put up with all that stress, and I just can't do it. I've burnt my thyroid out with all that stress managing, so I'm done with stress. All right, so this is the last two pieces of paper I have to put this cotton picking glue on. And then to attach the paper, I'm just going to use the glue stick like I did last night. That worked really good. And if you have a brush that you use for glue, that might work better than your finger because you get a buildup of glue. And if you don't like sticky things on your hands, this might become very annoying to you.
You know what makes a good glue brush?
What?
Is go to the dollar store and get one of those silicone basting tools and let the glue dry and it just peels right off.
Oh. But wouldn't that be huge? Or do they have a small one?
Well, I guess it'd be huge, but I'm thinking like woodworking.
Oh, well, that works for you. Good for you.
Good for me. You got large areas.
For y'all that might not have heard what Scott was saying, he was saying go to the dollar store and get some kind of silicone tool and then
basting brush.
A basting brush. Or you could use, for us, you could use anything that was silicone that you could spread. I mean, a spatula would work. And then it would be smooth too. But he was saying if you could just let it dry on that, and then once it was dry, it would just peel off your silicone brush.
And it's oddly satisfying to do that.
Yeah. Well, we used to paint our hands. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Painting the palm of your hand with the glue and then let it dry, and then you could go, ew, look at my skin. Oh, bye, Lisa. Have a good day. Is Josie in here? Hi, Josie. I hadn't seen you in a long time. See, that's why I think I need to do some daytime shows. Okay, I have reworked this lid so I can now put this cotton picking tacky glue away from me. I'm going to get a fresh baby wipe because that one is full of glue. And I'll decorate this real quick. I'm not going to hold you guys up, and Scott and I want to go for a walk before he has to go to work. But I will decorate this lid, and then later I'll make a lid for my messed up box that I'm going to use for Bits and Bob's collection on my desk or table, whatever you want to call this. Well, hi, Dawn Boss. I'm doing the rework of the lid that I messed up in last night's live. So if you watched last night's live and work along with it to make a box, when you get to the lid portion of that, stop and use the measurements that are in the description box of that video. Do not use the measurements I give in the video because your box will be a ½ an inch too big for your box. So now we've got our box. This is the one I messed up last night. And you can see how much bigger it is. This one will just about fit down in there. So that tells me I could almost, I'll just use the measurements I used to make this box just a little bit bigger. And I could use this for a lid, or I might make a lid for this. I think I'll make a lid for this so it's a little bit bigger. I'll have all this space. I got to thinking that would make a nice box for the bits and bobs stuff, because then you could dig through it and look through it and have room to dig around. All right, so let's cover this. Okay, we're going to do the inside just like we did the inside of the one from last night. So I just need to trim this down to about 8 3/4, I think. Now, the length is fine. It's the width I need. So a little less than 4. So I'll do 3 3/4. And again, I'm not going to ink these, but you can. If you ink your edges, it just gives you a more finished look. And that piece will go in there. And then I need pieces for the edge. So a little bit less than 1½ inches. So if I do 1 1/4 inch strips here, that gives me that one. So we'll trim this at the 1 1/4. And then this needs to be at whatever measurement this was. So this is 8 3/4. That's what I bought. So that's my 2 inner sides and my top. So I need another, I'll set those up there so I don't mix them up. And all of these little pieces and strips you could use to make little 3x3 cards, and which I might do with these like that. You could do a base color and then just put a strip of this across and then put like hello on the front of it, and you'd have a 3x3 card, which I think would be pretty awesome. All right, so my width on this was 4 inches, so I'm going to do 3 3/4 inch strips for my inside edges. Let me see if that'll fit. It needs to be slightly shorter than that. So just do them at 3 1/2. That'll give you a little bit of your craft paper exposed. That's almost too short. Try one more time. 3 1/2 doesn't work. Let's do 3 5/8. Yeah, 3 5/8. That'd be about right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I'll cut the striped paper for the top. We'll call it done. Oh, okay, Adidel. Okay, Peg and Chelsea are live right now for anybody that's not seen them before. They're a lot of fun to watch. That's the Art Joy of Sharing. So they're doing their live right now. If anybody wants to pop over and see them real quick. All I'm going to do is decorate this like you would anything else. I'll just glue this paper in and then flip it and do the outside of the box. You're welcome to hang out with me a few more minutes? Because as soon as I get this decorated, I'm going to sign off. So the box construction takes a little bit of time, but I find it very almost therapeutic and fun to do. And then if you need a box for something you've made that's an unusual size that you can't just buy a gift box for, you can make your own gift box. But like I said, if you decide to reuse like cracker boxes or cereal boxes, rough them up and glue several of them together. Okay. I know Mary was going to make a box today, I think she said. So she's probably busy working on a box. This paper is from a very old Recollections multi-pack of paper I've had for years. I was saying last night in my live that I'm trying so hard to use this paper pad up, but it seems like it's almost like the never-ending noodle bowl. It just stays with me and stays with me. But I keep plugging away and doing projects with it. Hopefully I'll get it used up. It's one of my goals for this year. Use up this paper pad. Actually, I have a couple of them that are like this, where it's just a color theme. It's not really birthdays or anything like that. That doesn't have very much glue left on it right there. I'm going to turn this so I can see. I like to let gravity help me out. All right. I'll just use this bone folder, smooth this out a little bit. All right. Bye-bye, Adele. She's probably already gone. That's okay. Scott was very touched by you guys asking about him. He finds it very nice that, you know, somebody outside of family would be concerned about him. And I told him, I said, isn't the YouTube community nice? Y'all are almost like extended family. Family we've never met. There you go. All right. So we got one more big piece, and then we can flip to the outside. I don't know if she's in here or not, but Kendra's birthday's coming up. If you guys want to do a card shower for her, I noticed her birthday pop up in my feed. It's February 7th, and I'm going to make her a birthday card. So, Kendra, if you're watching this, you're probably going to get a card shower. If you're not watching. So, anyway, there's the inside of my box. It'll match the inside of, or the inside of my lid. The inside of my box looks like this too. And for those that weren't here last night, I guess I should show you the box I'm talking about. So here's the box we made last night for my perpetual calendar. Hi, Janet. And you can see I've used the same paper on the inside. I got concerned when I thought about reworking this, and I went back through the stack and there wasn't another sheet of that paper, but I got lucky and there was some scraps left in that paper that would fit the inside of my lid. So this is what we made last night, and I even covered the bottom. So now what we need to do is, here's the replacement lid, and I'll put these measurements in the description box of this video as well. So instead of using the blue, I think I have enough. I could use the blue, but when I went back looking for more of this Argyle stuff, I found this really cool stripe. And I thought the stripe would add another component to it. But I want to make sure that the narrow strips have the stripes going up and down on the lid. So I want to cut my strips this way. And then whatever I have left, I'll just cut a strip for the top. All right, so I'm going to do like I did before and do 1 1/4 inch strips, which I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but you can go 1 1/4 inch past the blade and cut your strips that way as well. And it's a little bit easier for narrow strips if you do that than trying to line it up with all that paper over here on this side. So that'll give us enough strips to do our sides and our ends. So now we just need the big piece for here, which, let's see here, 3 3/4. Okay, so now I have this extra piece. Oh, I might make this a little bit wider. So I'm going to come back to the 3 7/8. Again, don't worry about the little strips and stuff. You can turn those into cards really quick. Oh no, this looks smaller. Well, I guess we're going to use this piece just like this. And I'm going to trim it at this yellow stripe right there. And I'll just try to center that on there. Because I was thinking anyway, I'm going to glue some flat trim along the top of this too. Usually I do that with the hot glue gun. So these need to be the same length as this. I know what I'll do. Let me do this. All right. And I need another one that long. Okay. And then I need 2 for the ends. And I'm just going to do the hold it up and see where I like it. That's the good thing about a stripe, is you can kind of see where on the stripe you want to cut it. And then just line that up in your cutter. There we go. And so I got my 2 strips. All right, have I missed anybody? Janet's here. Yep, Josie's here. I only got 4 people in here, but this is kind of an odd time for me to be on here. And I know a lot of people are watching Peg and Shell, which, you know, that's fine because I love to watch Peg and Shell too. And I forgot they came on at this hour. I wouldn't have come on because I don't like to infringe on people that I watch all the time, you know. I try not to. You know, there are some I used to watch, but then they started coming on the same time I was doing my live. So I was like, well, I'll just do my live. But it is like Mary said, there's so many of us doing lives now. It's hard to watch everybody all the time. So I don't mind y'all rotating between folks either. The replays are always there. It's just, it is more fun to have a group of people in chit-chatting with you. I'm not real good about, when I'm working on a project like this, I'm not real good about keeping up with the chat. That's the only bad thing. That's why I think sometimes the ability to do the premieres is better, because you can do the project, and then when your show goes live, you can be there for the premiere of it, and people can ask you questions in the chat while everybody is watching the video. So you can get your questions answered, more directly that way. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think the premieres are a good idea? I know everybody enjoys the lives, but the premieres, I like the idea that I can be directly in the chat while I'm watching my show that I put up as a premiere. And I can get questions answered quicker. All right. So, but yeah, I felt so bad that lid came out so much bigger. And I told Scott, I said, I've got to rework that. I think I reworked it in my sleep, though, all night. I should have come back on and done a video. He was still up because we drank coffee too late, so he was wired for sound. I think Tippy's come home.
You think?
I think I saw a white streak with a gray tail behind it. I think he came flying across the street. All right, we'll turn this over here. Yeah, I'll do a premiere video maybe later today and have it to go live maybe tomorrow morning after Mary goes off. No, that's not tomorrow morning. What is today? Today is Thursday. Yeah, I could do it tomorrow morning. Have it go live at, about 8 or 9, or let's do 9. I'll make it go live at 9. And then that way we can get together at 9 o'clock Eastern. And that way I can answer your questions and stuff while we watch it together. Of course, I'll probably be sick of looking at it, but you never you never know. All right, I want to smooth this before I clean that off. I'm just kind of wiping the glue off. Okay. So I'll do a video to go up at 9 tomorrow. And I'll try to make it a kind of a short video so we're not having to sit together for ages. And I can wear my earphones and Scott can snooze away. That's the one thing about it, is I could do videos in the afternoons and evenings and put them up as premieres for in the morning while Scott's still sleeping, because I wouldn't be talking then and making noise. Let's see. Huh? What's that, honey?
I have an idea to share.
Oh, he has an idea to share. I'm sure they'll listen to you. I'm putting the last piece of paper down here. So hang on just a second. Uh-oh. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to see if this will fit, and then Scott can share his idea. Hang on just a minute, honey. He says, I've got the idea. I'm ready to go with it. All right. So bring our box back over.
It's probably pants.
And there, see, it doesn't jiggle nearly as much and it looks better. Ta-da! And I actually like the stripe better too. So there you go. Let's go. Now Scott
Perhaps that would be an economical corner reinforcement that you could glue down.
Ooh.
And it's already pre-crimped.
Scott brought this to me, and y'all know what this is because, you know, Scott was trying to get y'all to last night help with sanding sheetrock. But if you had the sheetrock tape, you could use it for your corner reinforcement, and it's already got the fold to it.
And but it doesn't have any adhesive on it.
No, you'd have to still put adhesive on it, but he's saying this might be more economical than our cardstock because, you know, oh, Janet, I am so sorry. I just went live and totally forgot about turning that off.
No, there.
Hang on. Just a second. I am so sorry about that. I generally do that for you, and I forgot all about it. I got all excited about reworking the box. Okay, I just turned it off. We'll tell it to refresh that. I got Joan Niegler says she'll never take boxes for granted again.
Because that doesn't have adhesive on it. You can, if you just put glue on it, then you can place it perfect and get that corner perfect on it. If you need to reinforce the edge.
Yeah. So that's his idea. So.
And that stuff's really cheap. It's like $1.50 a roll or $2 a roll.
Yeah. So this is an idea, and it would save us time of having to cut the strips. It's just, it's really wide. So I would say, see, it would cover up most of your box, but I guess it's thinner.
And it's pretty tough.
Yeah. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I might try a box using some of it because we have some. I know I can hear him. So I reworked a lid. And I'm going to take the failed lid and I'm going to make a lid for it. And this is going to be my Bits and Bobs box to collect bits and bobs until March. So that's all I was going to share with you guys this morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's afternoon now. I can say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Janet, I just feel bad. I forgot to do that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Janet has a horrible time with the autofocus, and I know there's several others that do too. It just drives them crazy. Oh, we got to have a Tippy visit. All right.
Tippy's in the house.
Tippy's in the house. Tippy's like, oh, I need you, Mama. Favorite? You're dirty. All right, guys, I'll let you go. I'm going to go get some clothing on that is appropriate for outdoor activity, and we're going to go for a walk. Take care, guys. Bye. Tippy, Janet says, we love our Tippy. Take care, guys.